Welcome to Lemon-Squeezy Education. This video is an evaluation of Asch's line study. So Asch wanted to investigate how powerful group pressure can be. In his famous line judgment study, participants were asked to identify which comparison line matched the standard line. The task was easy, but participants were surrounded by Confederates. Asch found that 75% of people conformed at least once, even when the answer was clearly wrong. He also conducted several variations to investigate what affects the likelihood of conformity. A strength of the study is that it was carried out under highly controlled conditions. Every participant did the same line judgment task, the Confederates gave the same responses, and the procedure was carefully standardised. This meant there was excellent control over extraneous variables, so we can be quite confident that any conformity shown was caused by the presence of the majority group rather than other factors. And this gives the study high internal validity. And because it was so standardised, it makes it very easy to replicate. This means that psychologists can repeat Asch's studies, and they've actually found similar results, suggesting that the results are consistent rather than occurring simply by chance. However, one criticism is that the task lacked ecological validity. Judging the length of lines is not something people usually do in everyday life. In the real world, conformity often involves decisions that are a bit more meaningful, like following social norms or agreeing with friends and family. Because the task was quite artificial, participants may not have behaved in the exact same way that they would outside of the laboratory. This means the findings may not generalise to real-world scenarios. Another limitation is the sample. Asch tested 123 male American university students. So this is a fairly narrow group of people. Women, older adults, and people from different cultures were not represented. So as a result, the findings might not generalise to the wider populations. Another criticism is that the study was carried out in the 1950s. This was at a time when American society placed a strong emphasis on fitting in and following social norms. Since then, society has become more individualistic. Because attitudes have changed, people today may be less likely to conform in the same situation. This means that the findings may have limited temporal validity. However, although society has changed, conformity certainly has not disappeared. People continue to experience pressure to fit in friendship groups, schools, workplaces, and even social media. Modern research still finds evidence that people change their behaviour because of group pressure. Finally, there are some ethical issues. Participants were actually deceived in this study because they believed that everybody else was a genuine participant. In reality, the other group members were Confederates working with the researcher. And some participants also experienced mild psychological distress or embarrassment when they realised they'd agreed with an obviously incorrect answer. However, compared with studies like Milgram, the levels of distress were relatively low. Participants were fully debriefed afterwards and no long-lasting harm was reported. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe for more educational videos.